Hello and welcome to The Ordeal. So I found this article on the internet. Sheryl Sandberg. Women are burning out more than ever. Employers must do more to help. Now I haven't read this, but I have a feeling it's gonna be about how women are suffering and struggling, and it's not their fault. Let's see what Jean Sahadi has to say. All right, here we're going to start. The coronavirus and economic crisis have had negative effects on everyone, but a new survey and its high profile advocate, Facebook's COO, Sheryl Sandberg, suggest women are being hit hardest by the increased pressures of work and home in the midst of this deadly pandemic. Coronavirus has exacerbated the stresses and inequities working women were already experiencing, Sandberg says. Working mothers often work a double shift. In normal times, logging more time doing housework and childcare than working fathers. But now, with schools closed and a lack of childcare, the pressures have compounded. The inequality, this is a quote from her, the inequality we've always had on the balance of work in the home, which has always hurt women in the office, is now getting worse. Sandberg said women are now doing what she calls a double shift. Okay. Go the latest survey from leanin.org, the Women at Work advocacy group she created, found that women report spending an average of 71.2 hours a week on household chores and caregiving since the onset of the pandemic, while men report 51.5 hours. No, they don't. That's not true. You're telling me that women spend more than 10 hours a day? More than 10 hours a day doing housework. Yeah, that's not happening. That 20-hour difference is half a full-time job, she notes. That's unsustainable. It's not healthy for them and not healthy for their relationships. It's not healthy for their children. The survey conducted online in mid-April also found that single mothers report spending more hours per week on housework, childcare, and elder care than women overall, while Black and Latina women spend more time doing all three than white women. What about Asian women? Black and Latina women are the only ones. And of course, it's evil white women. Ooh, those evil white women, they're keeping the black women and the Latina women down. Maybe it's cultural differences. You think maybe? Maybe it's the fact that black women tend to have children outside of a stable relationship. Like a lot. They do that. It's ridiculous. Something like 60% of black children are born outside of a stable relationship. Yeah, so let's go back up here to this 71.2 hours. It's compared to men's 51.5 hours. So they want to split that difference, I'm assuming, because down here they say 20 hours, a 20-hour difference. That's a 20-hour difference. Yeah, okay. So instead of it being 71.2, it's going to be 61 hours. So we're going to get a 10-hour break a week. Yeah, right. Let's do some math here. Like I said, type in my trusty calculator here. There's 168 hours in a week. If you don't believe me, just multiply 7 by 24. People on average sleep 56 hours a week. If you don't believe me, just multiply 7 by 8. Because you sleep 8 hours a day, there's 7 days in a week. So 56 will minus 56 here. Minus 5, 6 equals 112. What's the difference between 71 and 112? It's 41 hours minus 71. So you're telling me the women are staying home and working now. A lot of women are staying home and working now, more so than ever, because we've been forced to stay at home. So a lot of people are out of work now. They're not working at all. They've been either laid off or fired because their job has gone away. They lost their job entirely. Right? We all are aware of this because of the illness that is ravaging the world as we speak. So people are working at home. So these women are working 40 hours a week. They're taking an hour for themselves to do whatever it is they want to do, and then they're spending 71 hours, the rest of the time, in their waking life on taking care of others and doing work for and around the house. Yeah, that's bull. They're counting everything that since I have to sit at home, everything I do at home is housework. That's what they're doing. That's what they're saying. I haven't seen this survey. I'm sure it was worded like that. Like, how much work are you doing around the house? Oh, 71 hours, including child care and elder care and, intimate partner care or whatever. How much work are you doing around the house and for the house? If it's outside the house, So you got to run errands, right? So this doesn't count drive time. Unless you're only spending an hour driving to and from the store a week, which is possible. I mean, I spend less than that right now. Spend less time than that driving to and from the store. I have a couple stores right here within a block, so I just walk to them, and I go like once a week. So it takes me 10 minutes to deal with going to and from the store. So that's possible that you're spending an hour driving around a week, and then you're spending 71 hours doing actual work and caring for people. But that's not happening. They're not doing that. They're telling me that you're spending every waking moment either working at your job or doing household work or care work for a relative or intimate partner. That's not true. That's not on average. This survey is garbage. What did they ask, like 7 people who lied? We asked these 7 people. This is what they said. Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, this is just. Does anybody believe this stuff really when it comes up? You're spending 71 hours. Men are not spending 51 hours either. They're not spending 51 hours a week doing housework, chores. They're not. No, okay, let's add on 20. So plus, minus 0. That will do plus 20. So they only get 20 hours off a week, which is not that much. I mean, I don't know why I added that on there. It doesn't make any sense. But we know they get 20 hours because there's a 20-hour difference here. So they would get 20 hours to themselves to do things during the week. Yeah, no. I have more than 20 hours of time a week to do the things that I want to do. It's not like a huge amount of time, but it's more than 20 hours a week. And I do housework. I don't do as much as my wife. I do other work related to our living situation. I deal with like finances and stuff like that. So she does most of the cooking and cleaning, and I do the other stuff. But yeah, it doesn't take me. I'm not spending 50 hours a week doing that. All right, let's see here. Okay, this is what employers should do. You mean provide you with health care? Provide you with a reasonable working environment? What employers should do, if ever there were a moment for bosses to understand that your head is going to explode and to offer ways to help you make your life work, a deadly pandemic seems the perfect time. Okay. Can a deadline be pushed back? No. Can you wait for something? Can we acknowledge that even for people who are able to work at home, they have another job which is taking care of their kids? Asked Sandberg. So, can you be more flexible in what you're expecting and demanding? That's not really the employer's job. They offer you employment, you do the job, or you quit. How about if you're overworked as a mother? How about you find somebody to get married to who wants to have children before you have children? And then you stay married to that person until the children are old enough that they can, drive themselves around and do things for themselves. But a high percentage of respondents to the leanin.org survey say they aren't getting that support. Among male and female essential workers, just 36% said their employers have granted them more flexibility, while just over half, 52%, of employees working from home reported the same. What do you do in summertime? Kids don't have school in summertime. You don't have that ability to, keep track of your kids. You don't do it all summer and then go, oh yeah, by the way, I have kids, and now there's a pandemic when I'm not working, so maybe I do what I do in summertime. Just a thought, just throwing that out there. And only a minority of both groups, 24%, of essential workers and 41% of those working from home, said they have a manager or anyone from HR who checks in with them to see how they are. Yeah, nobody really checks in with me. And if I go to them with an issue, they'll be like, "Are you okay? You doing all right?" I'm sure, but yeah, they don't come to me and try to figure out if I'm doing okay. Among the most important things any employer should do besides paying them is to offer flexibility, Sandberg said. As part of that, she noted that Facebook canceled its regular performance reviews during this intense period. Show workers that we know you have more to do, she said. You canceled their regular performance reviews? Oh, so you're not going to give any raises? You're not giving raises. That's what a performance review is to assess whether or not a person is working out with the company. And if they are, then you give them a raise. You give them a cost of living raise. If they're doing really, really well, you might even offer them a promotion and a bigger raise. Great, Facebook. You guys are awesome. You just said, you know what? There's this illness and everything is like shutting down. So like, what we need to do is like not give any raises, okay? Yeah, no, Facebook, you guys are bad. She realizes most employers don't have Facebook's deep pockets, but to prove Facebook is serious about letting up on performance assessment, the company said it would pay everyone above the regular bonus for the period. Secondly, Sandberg said, make sure employees get the message that you've got to take care of yourself and your family. Yeah, most employers understand that, family issues come up and you can't always 100% be at work. They get that. There's family emergencies happen. You can't be at work. People die. You take your paid leave for a death. It doesn't. I don't think that's available in every state, but a lot of states have that. Maternity leave. There are states now with paternity leave, so men can take time off to help raise the baby in the beginning. And equally important is to make sure managers check in with their direct reports to see how they're faring emotionally and otherwise. Okay. What individuals can do? What can individuals do? For people whose employers are not offering the support they need during the pandemic, it will be hard to make big demands at a time of massive job loss. A staggering 1 in 5 Americans have filed for unemployment benefits since mid-March. Is that 1 in 5 Americans or is that 1 in 5 working Americans? Because 1 in 5 Americans is a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know the numbers on that. I have to look that up. But Sandberg suggests smaller ways to improve your situation. Colleagues can have each other's backs. If you're checking in with each other, one of you might go to your manager to let her know that the team is feeling disconnected, or that several people would benefit from having a more flexible schedule. And when one of you has to care for a family member who has coronavirus, others might offer to take on some of that person's work to give them space to do what they need. On the home front, for women who have partners who can share their burden, this is the moment to sit down with your partner, to have those honest conversations and try to get more equality in the home. I know it is difficult to get there, but women need to, because women cannot do this double shift forever, Sandberg said. Yeah, maybe you don't need to have a job. I get it. I've said this before. Get back into the kitchen. Women just need to be caregivers at home. They need to be taking care of the children, raising the children. Somebody has to raise the children. And I understand. Hey, look, it's freedom. It's more freedom. It's more opportunity for women, and that is a magical thing. If you haven't had freedom, or if you've been in a position where you were basically like, hey, I'm dependent on this person to provide food and shelter for me, and then all of a sudden you have the world open up to you, you don't want to give that up. But what's the price we're paying for that? The potential good that came from this crisis. Oh, there's some good that came from this crisis. Let's see what Sandberg thinks it is, or this author. With the constant barrage of awful news, it's easy to assume nothing good can come from these twin crises. Twin crises? There's two now. You mean the one crisis, the illness that is ravaging the world, trying to kill people, doing a good job of it. The other one is not a crisis. The other one is a lie. We just looked at that. We looked at the numbers. We broke it down. Women are not spending all of their waking moments working. They don't get an hour off a week. They get several hours off a week. And from what I've seen, women work a lot less than men do. Okay? That's just my experience. And it's not always true. There's a lot of women out there that work very, very hard. But men tend to work harder. And it's why you see more men who are in top positions. Why you see more men who are millionaires, billionaires. It's just because they work harder. But Sandberg hopes that at least where employees, especially women, are concerned, the growing awareness of cracks in the system will lead to some improvements. The system is fine for women. It's perfect for women. In fact, it's too good for women. On her wish list, more money and benefits for the lowest paid essential workers, many of whom are black and Latina. Yep. So we need more benefits for the lowest paid essential workers. Okay. Yeah, possibly. But those benefits are going to cost money. How are we going to pay for those things? So, this doesn't come out of thin air. It's just like poof, look, there's more benefits for you. No, well, that costs something. Somebody has to pay those costs. So, we have to raise the cost of things, of those essential services. So that comes out of my pocket to them. Maybe they deserve it. Maybe I'm willing to pay that, but it's not just as simple as going, poof, here's your benefits. Make sure that when we make workforce changes, we are protecting our most vulnerable workers and recognize how essential workers really are, Sandberg said. Their jobs have always been this valuable. But this is a place for us to see that, and hopefully, as a society, find a way to raise their wages. If you don't recognize that the custodian, the janitor staff, is a valuable position, if you don't recognize that the garbage man is a valuable position, that the police officer, the firefighter, the medical workers are all valuable, farmers are valuable, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, they always have been valuable. Most people, the vast majority of people, understand this, especially as they get older. They're like, start thinking, where does my food come from? Who takes my trash away when I unpack all my food and have trash left over after I've eaten it or eaten most of it? So yeah, this is just another example of people thinking that women are underappreciated and they are victimized in some way. There are women who are victims. In fact, pretty much everybody's a victim of something in their lives. Life is not easy. Life is hard. Human beings treat each other terribly. And women are certainly victimized. But men are too. This is not a one-sided thing. And to sit there and say, oh, black and Latinas, this is a white woman. Sheryl Sandberg is a white woman. There's a picture of her up here. Right? There she is right there. You can barely see her. That's her. An ugly, bitter-looking white woman who thinks she knows everything. You can tell she's got this look on her face like, look, I know. You listen to me and shut up. Women are not treated unequally. Well, they are. They're treated better than men. Women are treated better than men. All that has to happen for a man to get in trouble is a woman goes to HR and says, hey, guess what? He harassed me. I can go on and, like I said, I could talk the next 50 years. I can make videos for the next 50 years on how I've been mistreated by women. I'm not that old. I know a guy who he got arrested and put in prison, in jail, for a weekend because his wife assaulted him and he called the police. The law in that state is, hey, if somebody assaults in a domestic situation, if there's assault, then somebody has to be arrested. And actually, I think in his particular state that this happened in was the man has to be arrested. It's ridiculous. We have a system here that just favors women, and then we have all these people who have a microphone going, hey, look, women are victims. Do nice things for the women. And yeah, people want to do nice things for women. Women are essential. Women are the most valuable human beings on the planet. They're more valuable than men. Talked about this before. Watch my videos. If I had a society that consisted of 10 men and 1 woman, that society is not going to last for very long. If I have a society that it consists of 10 women and 1 man, there's a chance that society could last forever. And that's just the reality that we live in. And if you want to go, hey, look, well, women don't have it as good in the workplace. That's all fine and good for biology and humans in general, but like, women don't have it as good in the workplace, really? Well, then how come women have to be paid the same? There's hiring quotas. There's jobs where women have to be placed into positions. Period. They don't earn it; they're just given it. I can't do that. You want to sit here? I mean, I've had women argue with me. Oh well, women aren't bosses. They never get to be. Both of my bosses are women, right? Well, not both, but two of my bosses, the president and the head of education, are female in my school. I don't know what to tell you if you think that women are so oppressed. If you think that, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Women have every right to do anything they want to in civilization that is not illegal, and they actually get away with a lot more illegal activity than men do. So, anyway, yeah, I saw this article. I knew it was going to make me angry, and I was right. All right, guys, please like, comment, and share. Click the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.